some of the real issues are alluded to in various movies, which is great. Okay, though again, usually not without consulting any of my colleagues. But
what are some of these like specific? Because that's the first question people are going to have. Okay, well, what are they? What are some examples?
Let me give you one example and then extrapolate from there.
Okay.
One of the and I have the poster right around the corner here. It's a trilogy that goes with these two.
Okay.
And the movie Independence Day, the first one, very good movie.
Yeah.
Okay, love that movie. Okay, so the Independence Day is about an alien invasion. All right, fine. And it's and so in the movie, there is a key moment that takes place on Air Force One as they're fleeing, right, the destruction of Washington, D.C. and New York and everything else, right? The ETs are really laying waste. And Jeff Goldblum, who was the protagonist, and you had Bill Pullman, I think, who was I think it was Pullman that was the president. And then you had this wonderful actor that was the father of Goldblum. So they're on, and they're chatting about things. And it turns out that they're going to be going to Area 51. All right, that's where they're going to take the plane because there's some sort of underground facility there. And that's when Jeff Goldblum's character, his father, pipes up and goes, "Oh, yeah. That's where the Roswell vehicle was kept, right? That's where they took it." In which case, the president looks at them and goes, "No, that's all nonsense. That's ridiculous."
That's a pretty good impression, by the way, of Judd Hirsch.
Yeah,
that's
thank
not
you.
bad. That's pretty good.
And so then they turn to walk out of the room, and the Secretary of Defense is still standing there, and he makes one of the great lines. He says, "That's not exactly accurate." Okay, at which point he informs them that they got a craft at Roswell. Okay, so that is one of many examples where this stuff is turned up in various films. Now, this happened to be a major blockbuster movie that made hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, you ready for the punchline on this? That kind of makes the point that I was making earlier and why the Hollywood Disclosure Alliance was created. Here's the punchline. This movie was really a giant recruitment movie for people to join the Air Force and the military, gung-ho, 4th of July, okay, defend the country and everything else. And, like just about every Tom Cruise movie ever made.
Sure.
So naturally, the Department of Defense was more than happy to cooperate. And I don't know what they provide, but, stock footage of jets and things, or maybe actual jets, aircraft carriers, whatever the hell you need. If they can provide it, they will. Because these films, oftentimes, they're just really great promotions for Americans' power. Well, at some point, somebody in the Pentagon read the script. And when they saw that Area 51 in Roswell was going to be mentioned, they said, "You have to take that out, or we will not continue to cooperate with you on this film." And the producer said, "Sorry, Charlie, we're going to keep it in." And they just sort of made do without the help of the Department of Defense. This is a story that I've heard from sources which I think are true. If it's not true, let the government come forward and say otherwise. Probably happened in other films. So there you go. So that stuff turns up. All right. It turns up here and there and whatever. These people know.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, J. Allen Hynek was on, helped with Close Encounters, right? With Steven Spielberg.
J. Allen Hynek definitely did. Steven Spielberg is a key figure here. I believe that he's known about the ET presence going way, way back. And he's made a decision that, fine, but it's not my job to inform the public of this. But he's made some of the most important films, which certainly have helped the disclosure process. Contact, without question, helped the disclosure process. All right. Close Encounters, I'm sorry. Contact is
Robert Zemeckis.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind clearly helped the disclosure process without question. And Spielberg promoted, let me see. Well, he also made the 20-hour series Taken, which is really kind of a narrative fiction of the whole thing without getting into specifics, but it addresses contact, abduction, and so forth. This is all the way back in 2002. So he has done a lot. Has he done as much as I would like? No. Is he welcome to join the Hollywood Disclosure Alliance? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Please, 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 please.
Well, he's got that new movie coming out, right? The Dish, I believe it's called.
He's already announced, and it's obviously a big deal. When you announce a movie 2 years in advance, that means it is a big deal. So
Sure.
I believe that Steven Spielberg has calculated that this next movie is going to hit the screens in the post-disclosure world. We're all going to be in a post-disclosure world where the entire world knows we're not alone. And
That's
so I think he has big plans for this movie. And I'm sure that's one of the reasons it's been announced literally 2 years in advance.
Wow. I have not heard that take yet, Steve, and I like it. Okay, that's interesting. So you feel this movie may come from the viewpoint of we're already in disclosure?
One of the messages that I'm getting out about the Hollywood Disclosure Alliance and anybody that's listening is that if you have a sense that if you at one level or another know this is real, then you have to understand formal confirmation of it is coming.
Sure.
And formal confirmation of the ET presence, which is meaning it's from the President of the United States, either because the president went first or the president had to follow some other heads of state that went first, whatever.
Sure. Sure.
And that's the most profound event in human history. And it's going to develop a worldwide obsession with this issue unmatched in the history of the human race. And if you can make content, if you're ready, right, to make content that's relevant and important, you will have a lot of eyeballs watching that content, which means you're going to make a great deal of money, but we would like the content to be accurate. And leading up to disclosure, which we're not there yet, any content that you can create that's accurate and so forth, is just going to help it along. And so the film industry is coming alive on this issue. I assure you, the film industry is filled with geniuses. A lot of people, throw shade at Hollywood. Yeah, it's a bunch of people. They're pretty, walk around. They don't understand that the people that are making these major projects are absolute geniuses. And I assure you, they know there's an ET presence. That doesn't mean they're going to do anything about it. Doesn't mean they're going to make a film about it. It just means they know it's true. But there is an embargo, and they don't necessarily want to be an activist on that. I get it. That's all changing. So they're coming around. And so every day, somebody else in this business kind of goes, this is going to be a big deal. What can I do? Look, J.J. Abrams took on a production called UFO that was in trouble and finished it off, put it out there. It was a documentary series about this issue.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Highest series in the history of Showtime.
That was great.
Steven Spielberg followed with Encounters, another documentary series. So they are coming on board, and there's more to follow. Obviously, I would like gentlemen like Abrams and like Steven Spielberg to draw on my colleagues and the people in this field that have carried all the water and done this work for all these decades, and use them as much as possible and reward them accordingly. But that's their business. I mean, I'm not going to tell them how to run their business, but that's our hope.
I get it.